Oh,
Hi, hello.
how are you, Alan?
I'm great, and nice to meet
Uh,
you.
nice to meet you too. And thank you. You want to come to, invite in here.
My pleasure. Pleasure to be with you.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry?
I said it's my pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, yes. Me too.
Thank you.
Alan, how I pronounce your name?
Alen.
Alan.
Yes.
Alen Kasumovic.
Yes, Kasumovic.
Kasumovic. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
It
Alen.
goes with one special Croatian letter, but it kind of not available in the English. So it's with the C, but it's pronounced Ch.
I see.
Yeah.
Alan, can you tell us that some friends already joined with us and see you, and then how long you have been in Access?
Yes, absolutely. So I've met Access 2012, so I'm almost like 8 years using the tools and processes of consciousness. And I prefer like saying like using the tools, not like being into it, because like Access is like really about the like easy pragmatic tools, and it's not about so much being in it. It's more about using it and creating greater and like exploring something new and different.
Okay, so my question is, before you know Access and after you know Access, so what the difference that you see in you?
Well, before Access, I would say it's oh so okay, if I would go into like my childhood and stuff, like I was like more similar to what I'm now. But after like after after you grow up and all this, going through those processes, you kind of like like go into weird spaces and places and kind of lose you. So I would say that before Access, before I discovered it, it was for me like living in kind of a bubble in a way of a sort, where you were like in my own world somewhere, not very much. It was really, really different, and also for those people who never met me, my body's moving around in a wheelchair. So there were many changes thanks to the beautiful and amazing body processes of Access consciousness that changed a lot. And by using those tools and processes, both verbal and body hands-on body processes, like for example, what I've noticed is that I'm much more agile. My body is much more agile than it used to be. Then my legs are much stronger than they used to be. And also I'm now able to transfer my body out of the wheelchair from any surface that is the same height as the wheelchair. And for me, that was impossible before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of changes.
Also, you're doing the body process to your body, so your body is more easier, you mean?
Yes. Yes.
Like do something that before you cannot do it, and then you can do something.
Now I can, exactly.
And then your leg getting stronger.
Yes, my legs are getting stronger, and my whole by using and doing those using those processes and tools, it's like everything is changing. Like being with my relationship with my body changed a lot. I'm more present with it, more willing to listen to it, what it requires, and let's say that's more in honoring of it. Yeah, having much more fun.
Wow, that's cool. And then how I would like to know how you do it to your body. Do you need someone to do it to your body to do the body process?
Of course. So yes, so there are just for some people who may not have that information, or maybe somebody who would watch it later and who never met Access consciousness, just to let them know about the body processes, that You know, there are two ways. You can run body processes on yourself. And by the way, there are like over 60 of them, but people can find out more at accessconsciousness.com. So I'm not going to go into like that basic conversation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And so, yes, there are two ways. You can run processes on yourself and or, which is much more dynamic, having it somebody run it onto you, which is much more dynamic and much more, you know, contributes more. It's stronger in a way. So yeah, it's like with the swaps or with somebody. I don't know. My mother, who's also, she's actually introduced me with Access Consciousness in 2012. Yes, she started like a month before me or so. And then back then I lived in the dorm room. I studied at the Fine Arts Academy. I'm also an artist. And I don't know how well you can see, but these are some of my paintings behind.
So that's all your painting?
Yes, these are all mine.
You're using all with your mouth?
Yes,
do all the
that's
painting?
correct.
Wow.
Yeah, I paint with my mouth since my body cannot, like, it's not, I'm not using my hands and legs as others do, so I paint with my mouth and also using the keyboard and phone with my mouth. So, for example, when I type to you or when you get the message, it looks something like this.
So you touch the keyboard within your mouth?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, wow, that's great. So you didn't using something tools to type?
No.
Everything by your mouth?
Not with lips.
Wow, that's great.
And as you can see, I'm pretty fast.
Yes, you first when you type to me, and then so all the flyer also you design by yourself?
Yes.
Using modes to design?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so great. You're amazing, Alen. Sangeeta said to me that you are really amazing.
Thank you, Sangeeta.
Yes, yes. And when I typed to you that we would like to discuss for the topic, I just perceiving the word is like greatness.
Yes.
So we would like to talk about it.
Greatness. It was like, yeah, it was really fun. Like, and first I did the graphics, and then you were like, okay, are we gonna put any title of it? I'm like, greatness. Okay.
Yes.
It's really funny, but greatness for me, it's considering through in the what's going on now globally, all over the planet. It's like really something like the energy that is required now more than ever to step into the greatness and to really be the greatness that we actually came here to be. Because all of us came here with a gift that only we can share with the world and nobody else can, with really being willing to be the greatness that we came here to be, we can inspire others to also choose that. And so we can all together a much greater world. But also, what is interesting to me, it's like at the same time how we defend that greatness rather dynamically, it's like really pretending how like pale, pathetic, weak, or whatever we are, that we're actually not. And, thinking that having the idea or the point of view that, I want to, the more smaller I make myself, I'm going to be like less and less invisible. And well, actually, that's not that, because we have to use like a lot of energy to really contract yourself that rather dynamically. And, if you look at that, even in like, it's actually the opposite. The more you're willing to be greater, you are less visible for others, which is amazing to me. And it was like, for example, I love animals, documentaries, and and once I've watched one about the great blue whale, and it's fantastic how blue whales are the biggest animals that ever lived on planet Earth. And scientists know the least about them. That's fantastic. And also, like people that, really like those that are willing to be, that are great and big in some way, willing to be like, they're not visible to everybody. So, it's actually like, oh, actually it's the opposite. If you want to be really invisible or untouchable, you got to be willing to be the greatness that you came here to be. And how? Why? How come? Well, because greatness is not part of the reality for most people. Greatness doesn't exist. Like, it's not, or it does through like a certain, like, through some definitions or, projections and conclusions, what that may be, what that is, and blah, 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 which actually not the great. It's like a definition, like a categorization of it. So there you go. Great. And really, what if now is the time to really to step into that space of greatness that we came here to be, and be like, okay, cool, you know what? I did that pathetic stuff like long, and I really had a good time with it. And, like, it was really fun. I enjoyed being pathetic or whatever. Okay, cool. Now I'm done with it. I can put it in a box now, like put it in a drawer, like, we had a good run. Okay, now what else is possible?
Okay. So, you choose the space of greatness.
Exactly.
Not the greatness from the people or the reality of this. Yeah. The reality of this. How is the greatness is.
Yeah, that's definitely not the greatness. Like, okay, so if you would choose to be all the greatness that you came here to be, what would it be like, and what would it look like? And go with that. As soon as I asked that question, is there anything that popped up for you? Like, oh, maybe like, oh, whoa.
Like space.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I cannot make it definition of that.
Exactly.
It's like space.
Yeah. And also, it's not something that has a reference point. So those things that that don't have reference points, often, not all the time, but very often, we cannot even put the words to it because it doesn't have a reference point. You cannot like see it anywhere from the past because you're choosing it now for the very first time, and now it's available for you, like, ta-da, for the very first time. You're willing to say, let's step out of the bubble of that average real and same as everybody else and all those definitions, blah, blah, blah. You're stepping into something completely new, and you're like, how do I call this? I don't have a fucking clue. There's no reference point to it. So most of the time, yes, it's like exactly this, that energy, awareness of an energy, awareness of that space, and go like, okay, cool. Now what next? Well, go with that. Follow that energy. Follow that space. And like, okay, how much more can I explore? Where else can I go?
Alan, we usually to describe our greatness or our potential. It's like, oh, thank you, God, I have the eyes. Oh, thank you, God, I have these things. I can do this. I can do this. Is it the form of greatness?
Gratitude, definitely.
Yes.
Gratitude, definitely. Gratitude is like big doors into greatness, because greatness cannot, you cannot be from that energy if you don't have gratitude, if you're not willing to be grateful. Grateful. But there is a catch, not grateful for, oh my God, I have, like, it's wonderful, this is beautiful. No, it's like being grateful for bad and ugly stuff as well. Grateful for all that you chose, and be like, oh, wow, that was amazing. I chose that as well. How amazing is this?
Out of all even the bad things.
Absolutely. It's like, wow. Like,
I can make it.
That's amazing. It's
yes.
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's that. Like, also from that space of greatness, that that's also the space of being an interesting point of view and total allowance. Like, there is no rightness and wrong, good and bad, from that space, from that energy. That's like, cool, this is available, this is possible. Now what would I like to choose? What would I like to create? And go from there. But and also you cannot be really free, totally free. So have that, like, also sense of inner space, like inner peace and space and ease, and be the joy, you know, if you're like not grateful for all that you be and all that you chosen, you know, like that's like, how about that? Like start every day with like, what are you grateful for? You know, at the end of the day, what are you grateful for today? Like everything. I'm grateful for blah blah blah. You know. Oh, you know, I went to the farmer's market and the guy who tried to sell me some apples cheated me for one, I don't know, dollar. Okay, cool. You know, you'd be grateful for that. You know, like for everything. I clicked on banana or something like that. Like all the things. And it's really like, you know, acknowledging the gift that actually everything is.
Yes. So grateful for all the people and everything without point of view. And then
Absolutely.
that's like kind of the doors to be the greatness.
Yes. That actually opens up those doors, and that's like you can step into the space of greatness that is now available, now really required. But not obligation.
Yes.
You know, you can still, you know, people can still choose this what they choose. So, you know, greatness is not an obligation; it's a possibility.
Yes, that's cool. That's very awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Alina. Hi.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you still have my? Oh, okay. There is someone like Alen. Wow, it's so inspiring. Could you share more? How do you handle rejection or unfairness if you have experience any in life regarding your body? How are you using Accessful for that? Thanks a lot for sharing.
Awesome. I love your question. What is your name? I don't see the name.
Agnes.
Oh,
yes.
Hello. Yes. Well, you know, really the best tool that I used a lot and contributed to me is interesting point of view. Interesting point of view that they have that point of view. And actually, you know, that's amazing because like we gotta actually be willing to see what and how much is someone willing to receive. So, you know, it's, and, you know, not over deliver. You know, it's something that, you know, we may be like or do that actually, you know, can like not end up very well. So you gotta be willing to see like what and someone is willing to receive and where they're willing to go. And then you're like, okay, cool. You know, they have the point of view that they have. It's not personal. Nothing is personal. You don't take things personal. Okay, cool. Thank you. You know, why worry? There are 8 billion people on the planet.
Okay, so someone said, Elena said, can I have more, please?
Yeah. Can you have more, please? Yes, you can.
Yes. Of course, yes. Okay, and then, okay. So, Alen, do you still have pain in your body? My question is.
Pain. So, for example, so my kind of like, you know, disability or however we'll call it, it never actually had pain, or I never was in pain. It was just like, you know, that it never was painful for me. It was more about, you know, the range of movement were much less than they are now. You know, now I could move much more than I could before. You know, but I never had pain. You know, my body was never in pain.
Okay, cool. So your body is not pain, and then how you communicate with your body?
By asking questions. So,
yes,
like,
and then,
body, what would you like? You know, body, what do you require? And you know, it was always tell you. And you know, it tells you in a way of like, it may not be a sense like, it's a sense, it's an energetic awareness. It's not, you know, there's certain words. Oh, you know, I want an orange juice. No, it's like it may be like a picture. You know, for me, sometimes those informations that body communicates with me comes through pictures. Sometimes, you know, like we're like, oh, this, oh, like I like to move more. Oh, how about going to the pool? I like to move more. Okay, cool. Let's go to the pool. You know, like or somewhere. I don't know, whatever.
Yes. So our body, actually, our bodies would like to communicate with us.
always, and it constantly does. Our body constantly communicates, and you know, for example, when we get to that space or that you know period where we have a lot of pain in our bodies, it's actually like our body now screaming. It's like it your body actually gave you that information much like earlier, but since you were not willing to listen, and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna make you listen now. And then, you know, it
Yeah.
starts with pain and stuff like, do you hear me now? Can you fucking hear me? You know? And then, okay,
We are so
fine, I'll do something, you know, like, oh, fine.
yes.
You know, but it's also like one of my favorite questions with regards to body is like, and I love to use that in classes. And it's like, I like to ask people, hey, people, you know, do you know that you have the body? You know, it's like a fun and sounds like a ridiculous questions. Do you know that you have a body? But you know, actually, like most people, we're like, they're not aware that they have their body. They have just, they know that they have like a somehow like a bag of bones and muscles and blood and something, and you know, you have to put something on it and put something in it, and you know, something, you know. So we would like fill our way of being with the body through many different stuff, you know, what is right, what is wrong, what's supposed to your blah 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 blah, and it's not about including your body in your life. So you know, that's something that doesn't like that, you know, stands between us and our body in communication. So gotta be really willing to ask questions to you know, communicate, be willing to communicate with body and ask it. Like everything that is concerned, that everything that concerns of your body, ask your body. You know, what would you like to eat? What do you require? Salt, sugar, water, energy. You know, where would you like to live? What clothes would you like to wear? You know, I remember when I started with Access Consciousness long ago, and you know, then facilitator back then said, okay, cool. So, you know, she was talking about communicating with body and asking questions and all this stuff. And then, you know, like ask body, like everything that concerns your body, ask it. And then I was like, okay, cool. So, let's put that in action. And then I went once in a mall and I was like, okay, cool. Now we are in a mall. There are like a lot of stores there. So, body, could you please show me what kind of clothes and what things would you like to have? Then I got one store. Oh my God, that's a very expensive store, you know. But still, let's go there. Let's check that out. That energy and what is that what my body would like. Then I went there and it was like, oh my God, that was something back then completely very different, new for me. So then I remember this question that you could ask everything and anything energetically to contribute to you to creating that. So it's like, okay, cool. So I remember that question. So when I was in the store, I didn't go into, oh my God, that's so expensive. I would never go there. I would never be able to, you know. I was like, okay, cool. I can go into this, which is, you know, not very bright choice. So how about this? Let's ask that question that facilitator shared. So, body. Okay. So would you be willing to contribute to me so I can create that with you, so you can have it, you can enjoy it? And then, you know, what it does when we ask, and we can ask anything. Like you can ask your room to contribute to you creating the life that you would like to create. And then what it does is energetically, because like really everything is energy, everything works on energy. So it energetically does whatever it can and for whatever it takes for it to contribute to you so you can create it. You know, that's amazing. You know, like a lot of stuff changed with this, just using this tool, just being willing to engage with everything that is already here in your life, that you already have available, which was another one beautiful thing that what I've heard in my first Access class, one of the first ones, when somebody asked the facilitator a question, like, okay, cool, so there are so many things, how do I start with this? Where do I start? And the facilitator said, well, start where you are. I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's so brilliant. Of course, start where you already are. So, you know, like you go from there.
Yes, exactly. When the first I joined the Access, the facilitator said to communicate with body. I just like, how to communicate with body. How the body talk to me, something like that, like strange. What the body can communicate? I just knowing how we taking care of our body, but I didn't acknowledge that the body could communicate. So I just wondering how my body communicates. So I learned the kinesiology, like move forward, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So when I would like to buy, yes, the muscle test. So when I would like to buy something, example the laptop, I just like practice to buy my laptop. So when I ask somebody, is this if I buy you, will you contribute to create money for me? And then say yes. Okay. So after I install everything, I get a phone call. There is someone in Malang would like me to come to their place to have the training, in-house training. And the amount is the same with the laptop that I buy.
Wow.
Oh, right.
Cool.
Yeah, so, oh, wow. Yes, amazing. So after that, I just realized, wow, that's beyond mine. And after that, I love to ask, to communicate and everything. Yes, yes. Of course, yes. Some people said, if I ask, sometimes say yes, sometimes say no. Which one the truth? Have you ever have you ever get the experience like that?
Yeah, it's like, but things change all the time. So,
yeah.
Like there is something that is called 10-second increments of choice. And it is about, okay, so what if every choice is good just for 10 seconds? And it's really, this tool is an amazing, to, let's say, like to build that muscle of seeing every choice that it's not significant. In this reality, we tend to make everything so significant. But what if this choice is a yes for 10 seconds, and now you ask again, and now it's a no. And then after you ask again, and then it's again yes. And then again you ask, and it's a no. Okay, cool.
Alan, do you get fear that people will judge you because you say yes, and then the next, and then 10 seconds you say no?
Well, you gotta be willing to see different stuff. So, like, for example, like, that may apply in a different way. And for going a little bit into depth of the 10 second increments of choice, I would first recommend to read the 10 Keys to Total Freedom by Gary and Dane, which can give much more information on it, because that's a big topic. They are, there's like the whole chapter, like the whole. So there's a critical series on that as well, just on that tool. So, like, really, like, be willing to what would create greater, like, what if you can use their different tools? So let's say that if I choose, to go into a project with that person, create something or whatever. Okay, cool. Would that create, would it contribute, to the future on my life and and to the consciousness be greater? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, then let's go for that. And just do
it. Okay. So you're asking question, which one make you more greater, more conscious, not contribute?
Yeah, like more, like, like more. Okay, would that make my life greater? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, go. Would that create? Would that make like everybody's life, whoever is included, engage with this project? That make their life greater? Yes or no? Would that expand? What would that create in the next 5 or 10 years period for the world, whatever that project is? So yeah, you can use different tools and different questions for different stuff. Hence.
Okay. So go back to the body that you said that you're more stronger. What's the body process that you using?
Yes. So my definitely favorite one, I adore this process, is called MTVSX.
Oh, okay.
MTVSX.
Yes.
I love this process. And it's so just to let people know, they are able to learn this process at the foundation class. So I'm also certified facilitator of Access Consciousness. And actually on 24th of July, I'm going to facilitate an online foundation class. So if somebody would, like, yes, 24th of July. And, you know, so there, you know, there is one of the possibilities to learn this process. But this process is so dynamic and really one of the powerful ones in Access, and really, really dynamic. There are many, many ways of how you can run it, and, you know, even on different organs, different systems, different, you know, different parts of the body, which is really, really amazing. So yeah, I like to run that process, be run on my body as well. It's really brilliant and contributes a lot. And I've received like over 100 of it, like a lot of the sessions, a lot of it.
Okay. Wow. So you get the session or you do by yourself?
Mostly somebody's running it on me. Usually my mom.
Oh, your mom. Okay. So because he's taking also the foundation and Access.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's also a facilitator. She's also a facilitator.
Oh, she also facilitator. Oh, great. Okay, so MTVSS make you more stronger, like you said before?
Yes, but you know, also very like something that I would like to important here to mention is that, you know, Access body processes are not about, you know, healing from the point of view of this reality. It's, you know, it's like you getting more awareness contributes to even your body to change or heal. Awareness is that element, that thing, you know, that changes everything. So it's not, I'm not running the MTVSS to get a certain result. You know, I was like, and it was on my very first level 2 and 3. Now it's called Choice of Possibilities class. It was long ago. And my first one with Gary, which was my back then second or third in general, but that was that one with Gary in London. I asked Gary, okay, Gary, so what process could I run or use to, you know, create greater change with my body? And then he suggested, hey, how about running MTVSS a lot? He said like some big number. I don't remember even more. And then, you know, like, so I started to run it even more. Since then, it was 2014 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Yes, and since then, I'm running it like crazy.
Wow, that's cool. Yes, I love that body process too, MTVSS. Yes, okay.
It's really amazing. It's such a beautiful process. Beautiful.
Okay, and I love like what you said that you not fixing or not like fixing something using the body process, but put the awareness. I mean, not healing or find the problem, but
yeah, exactly. Body processes are not about fixing, and healing actually is not about fixing. It's the idea of healing in this reality that, you know, you have to be fixed or healed, which is basically in this reality fancy word for fix you. I'll fix you. You know?
Like it's adjustment with the wrongness of that.
Yeah, exactly. But actually, that's not the case. It's really about like, you know, creating, and what those processes are doing, it's they contribute to you to, you know, first restore the communion with you and the body, and, you know, creating that different space of being with body and embodiment in general. And then, you know, like by you getting more awareness of that, and you're getting more and more aware of that, then even those things that, you know, we would like to be healed, changed, whatever, they do, they change, they heal, or they transform, or they disappear, or whatever that is. And, you know, like if you're doing anything with Access Consciousness, if you do it from a result, like I'm going to run this process because I must get this result, this process is not going to work. It never does. So it's if you are trying to be vested in the outcome, it's never going to work. So yeah, you really got to be willing to play and to explore, really take an adventure. Pick one process. You know, it's also like when people sometimes ask me on foundation classes, like, oh my God, there are so many tools, and like, what do I? Well, just pick one. Pick one. Randomly open the menu and be like, this one. Okay, play with this one. Run it for one day at least, not for more than one day, and see what occurs. Have fun with this. This is about fun. This is not about, you know, like getting it right or avoiding being wrong.
Exactly. It's not being right, no expectation, no projection, just playing with fun. And then what else possible?
Pick, you know, just choose any. It's like, okay, start where you are. Okay, how about this one? Okay, cool. Let's go with this one. You know, like, all right. And also, there are some that, you know, you could use every day. For example, definitely one of my favorite is, who am I today and what grand and glorious adventures am I going to have? This is an amazing question to start your day with. That's really like turns every day in an adventure. Even though, you know, for example, if there is a lockdown, for example, you may not go out of your house, but it doesn't mean that it cannot be an adventure. It can still be an adventure, you know. The energy of being and the space from we be is what creates adventure, not whether we are outside or inside, you know. So this is also what, you know, where I saw the gift of this lockdown and, you know, the beauty of it, how actually people were confronted with the idea of what freedom is. You know, is it freedom you like moving here and there and everywhere, or is freedom more about the space of being? You know, wherever you are, whether you're on one place only or every places or all places, you know, like what is freedom? So for me, freedom is more about the space of being. You know, so no matter where you are, what's going on, you have that sense of freedom, space, ease, and peace. That's it. You're free. You know, doesn't matter what's going on.
That's cool. Awesome. Yes, because people, even they could go anywhere, but still in the space is not freedom. But when you say it, if you choose freedom, being freedom, so you in the space freedom.
Yeah, you don't have to go. You have the possibility to go everywhere, but you don't have to go. It's different.
Yes. Yes. So it's like being in the space of greatness, being in the space of freedom. So all is the space of being.
Yeah, exactly. That's the greatness. That's where we are.
That's very cool. And then what's pop up in your mind when you ask, who am I today?
Who am I today? I have no idea.
Could be anyone or could be anything about the energy of you. Anything.
It's about the energy of you. It's about, you know, the energy and space that you be. And, you know, so it's like, okay, cool. So who am I today? So if nothing from the yesterday, you know, doesn't apply to you anymore, who are you today? No, it's more of like, you know, and also for me, that question is also more of an invitation into be more present with everything that's going on, you know, with everything that's like, aha, okay, cool. So what else is possible here? It's really like that engagement, you know, it's you cannot fall asleep. You're like, okay, so who am I today? And then you go like, okay, cool. And what grand and glorious adventures are we going to have? And you just go through the day and things start to unravel in front of you, you know, that which is the beauty for me, and it's always different, you know. So yeah, it's interesting. So
yes.
that question.
Yes, okay. All is the question that's from the space too. And I also like the word is like, what can and my body be different today?
Oh, I love that. Love that question.
Yes, yes,
Beautiful.
yes. I just like following the book club for the
Mm-hmm.
gentleman. Mm-hmm. So,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Amazing book.
Yes,
Amazing book.
amazing. Yes, Gary and Dan is brilliant.
Yeah, they are.
I'm in the space, wow, to receiving a lot of things. I mean, like, that's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
you know, notice as soon as you ask those questions, you cannot hold on to anything, you cannot cling to something, you know. You're like, okay, cool. Wow. So yeah, what can we create together today? Where can we
Mm,
go? Who are we today? What is that what we can create different that was never created or available before? It's amazing. You
mm,
know, suddenly it really invites you into something completely different, which inspires
yes,
others also to choose something different as well, if they
yes,
choose.
yes. So we open the possibility
Hmm.
to be something different is the energy.
Yeah,
So we got all the energy, the difference, and then after that, so we can choose which one is works for us to make
yeah,
our life greater, something like that.
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, very good.
So,
Nice, nice
yes.
put, family. Nice put. Yeah, love it.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, what time you're in Croatia and
Yes, I'm
you're
in
is about
Croatia.
for time?
Now, excuse me, you asked me what is the time here now?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's almost 3 p.m.
Or 3 p.m. Okay.
Hmm.
So, what your activity usually?
Activity?
Yes. I
Excuse
mean,
me.
you're painting or and
Yeah,
then how you using the access tool to your works, to your creation.
absolutely. Yes. Oh, I love this. So, what I like to go with is, well, using the questions and tools, in everything, including the painting. And it's like, for me, it's more of like following the energy, which is about,
Mm.
the information or a picture that I get. So, for example, oh, how about painting the landscape today? Okay, cool. And let's go
Mm.
with the landscape. How about
Mm.
this? Okay, let's go with this. How about let's go oil and let's go an olive tree? Okay, cool. Let's go with this. Nothing is significant. It's just like being willing to follow what is available to you at the moment. What is here now? What
Mm.
is like, hey, how about this? Would you like to play with me? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Mm.
Nothing has a meaning onto it. And you just go. So also, so painting is part of my everyday activity. Then also, since now
Mhm.
it's really beautiful weather, so I'm much more in the nature as well. Um,
Mm.
Recently, there is this small town where I live, which is next to the Zagreb, which is capital. So I live in a small place, like 20 minutes, 30 from Zagreb, and there are
Mhm.
like some beautiful places here. There's a beautiful park and a forest here, and like places with horses. And so, I go those different places, a few days and just enjoy the nature and horses. And so that's something that I really enjoy. And it's really nurturing for me and my body. Then having classes. Right now, I'm
Mhm.
facilitating in
Mhm.
the morning. So my 9 a.m. Energy
Mhm.
Pulse series on the topic of future. So
Mm.
then sometimes I even have 2 or 3 classes per day. So so there are
Wow.
many. It's very different. It's every day is different. Sometimes sessions, sometimes just rest and body processes and bars, and so it's really about none. No day is the same. So which is something that I really
Mm.
really, yeah. And it's an adventure. So sometimes it's
Mm.
more of a painting, sometimes it's more classes, sometimes it's combination, something completely something different.
Mhm.
So there, I never know, and I like it.
Mm.
It's just like, hey,
Wow.
in the morning, okay, who am I today? What, painter, facilitator, something else?
Okay. Yes. That's I can sense your space is like so much fun, enjoy. Nothing is significant. Nothing is personal.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah,
Yes.
and how much more? How much? I'm still asking, how much more of that can I be? How much more of that can I be? More of that, please. More of that. More of that.
Mm-hmm.
More of that, please. Always asking for more.
Actually, it's so simple. But why we choose something hard? Just small
Because
step.
it's simple. Because it's
Because we love
simple.
it.
Yeah. You know, it's like if we would be willing to choose something that is so simple, then we could actually create much more. But then again, to
Ah,
create much more, it's not real for this reality. You would have to not
too
fit
hard.
like really dynamically. You won't be like you won't fit. If you would be like, okay, go only with those simple stuff, those that has lightness, sense of lightness and space, then actually more things would get done. We would create much, much more in the same time. And then that would
Mm-hmm.
be way too much. That would be way too much for, I don't know, whose standards, but it's not like if you don't go through something, if you don't go through some struggles, it's not valuable. This is the point of view in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
Mm-hmm.
that applies to everything, especially like even in relationships. And recently I've heard about a study that they did several years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
which was they tried to predict how long can some relationship last. So they put couples together and they asked them
Mm-hmm.
to write some stuff, and then basically to count positive and negative experiences. And they
Mm.
got interesting results. So if in the relationship you have 5 positive experiences on one negative, relationship will break up. If you have more
Wow.
than 10, yes, if you have more than 10 positive experiences in a
Uh-huh.
relationship with one
Uh-huh.
negative, relationship is still going to break up. And then why? Because it's too easy, because it's too light, it's too fun. There is no tension, there is no conflict. And these are
Wow.
the things that are valuable in this reality, which is like,
Uh-huh.
what? But that's what it is. People don't like, we would all like, oh, I would like things to be lighter and easier. And then that shows up and you're like, no, it's too easy. You just ask for it. Like,
It's like no challenge for that.
yeah, it's not a challenge, but what if something else could be a challenge? What if what if creating more fun and more ease could be a different challenge? It's much more of a
Mm-hmm.
challenge than create drama and drama. It's actually very easy. Like
Mm.
you see somebody's points and buttons that you can push, and you just keep clicking, click, 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 and you create drama and drama instantly. But
Mm-hmm.
if like creating greatness, creating more of like, whoa, you really gotta be willing to be on the edge of, like on the creative edge, always be the question.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
but that study was so funny for me. It's really like, really,
Yes.
that's how much people love drama and tension. Yes, that's how much they like it.
Wow. Wow.
That's like,
10
boom.
positive, one negative still can break up
Yes,
the relationship. Wow. That's
crazy,
crazy. So
crazy. That's
we
really
keep
crazy.
we still keep with our partner just to fight, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. We basically have, people basically create relationships so they can have some person to fight with constantly all the time.
Yes.
Not to create with.
And yes.
I'm going to have like a personal enemy that I can fight like every day. That's my partner.
And the underlying of that is like, is that the person fight to themselves actually?
Both, all of the above, all of the above.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And
They
then someone.
they fight themselves, and you fight yourselves, and that,
Yes. Okay.
and the
So.
relationship as an
Mhm.
as an energy, like as a third element in all of this, like what that is, what it isn't, what that's supposed to be, what it's not supposed to be, and blah 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 blah. All the
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
Alan, there is someone text me.
Mhm.
So, what the purpose that you are coming into this world?
What is the purpose that you came to this world?
You,
to have
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Alen, what the purpose to come to this world?
Fun, because I
Fun.
can, because I could.
Yes. And what contribution that you create to make it more greater?
What is the contribution that I could create to make it even more greater?
Mm-hmm. The question is
Great,
like that.
great question.
Yes.
Keep asking that question.
We can ask to ourselves, what
Yeah,
can I
why not?
contribute to make it
Yeah,
greater? What
yeah,
else?
and you can. That's why you came here to contribute to this. We all came here to contribute to create a greater world and greater in general. That's why we all came here initially. And then along the way, we're like by all these points of view of what it is, what it isn't, what is real, what is not real, and so on and so on. And then you got lost into this. You're like, oh my God, who am I now? What's going on?
Yeah. Usually we compare and we make it significant. What is the great, is it, right? From this reality, and then we lost ourselves because we don't know that we are ready in there. It's like swimming in the ocean, then we don't know that we are ready swimming. And then we ask, where is air?
Yeah,
Where is water?
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like swimming in the water and being so thirsty. Oh my God, I'm so thirsty. Like you die of thirst in the water.
Yes.
Hello. Just go with your head like this. No, that's
yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So we have just about another 3 minutes or something like that. So anything that you would like to share with the participant ready here?
Well, no matter what, choose you. Start with gratitude. Start with gratitude for, like you may start with a list of gratitude. What are you grateful for every day and each day? And try to write those as much as possible. And even Dr. Dane here, the co-founder, co-creator of Access Consciousness, mentioned that in several calls and classes lately. And it really is like that gratitude, that's such a potent, powerful energy, and it really changes and transforms everything. So don't forget the gratitude. Really start with gratitude. Start with like grateful for whatever, and see what would show up. See what different possibilities would be available and can show up just with that, and see where you go. Like explore. Really, like don't take stuff too personal, too significant. It's just what if all those stuff they're not it doesn't have to do anything with you personally. So yeah, use the tools, ask questions, and be grateful, and see what would that create.
What cool. Alen, thank you so much, and have a good time. So you will have the foundation in this July on the 24th?
Yes, July 24th.
4 days.
Yes, is a foundation class. Yes.
4 days, right? It's about
4 days. Yes. So, and it is at 10 a.m. So for you, it would be kind of like, what is it now? 7, 8? What is it now?
Yes.
So
now it's 8. Now it's 8 p.m. 6 hour different.
Okay, so that would be like what, 3 p.m. your time, my 10?
Yeah, 4 p.m. Like yes, yes.
Cool, so there you go.
Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Alen.
Thank you.
Have a pleasure with you someday, somewhere.
Yeah, who knows when?
Yes. And then thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.